As you can tell, he's got a lot of melanism, and he has just produced some stunning babies for us in the past. The two dark Neos that we saw at the beginning of the video were offspring from him. Hey, it's Bill Stiegel, Phoenix Reptiles. I'm going to do a brief 10-minute video of our facility here for our friends at Morph Market. Okay, we're going to start with a few holdbacks from last year. All three of these neonates were hatched as red Neos, and you can tell that they are developing a little bit differently. The two on the left here were hatched as very dark maroon animals. These are siblings. They were sired by a melanistic pairing. This was freight train bred to outbreak, and we'll take a look at those animals here in a minute. But these have not begun undergoing their ontogenic color change yet. Excited about those two. And then if we take a look at this other one, also hatched as a red Neo, but obviously different looking than the other two. The sire to this animal was a Kofial locality type, and those are the animals that are known to have the propensity to keep their high yellow look into adulthood. And that certainly appears to be what's happening with this animal. I think we're going to see an animal with a lot of yellow as an adult. Let's keep moving on, and we're going to take a look at a couple of animals that I acquired last year and the year before. This first one is just absolutely incredible. This is an animal that Steven Saltzman produced, and it's Infinity 23.08. And this was produced from a blue line to melanistic pairing, and it's absolutely fantastic. This animal's about 18 months old, and it's going to fit very well into my melanistic projects here in the next couple of years. So the second animal I acquired within the last couple of years is an animal that my friend Mark Hager produced. This was a red neonate. It's undergone its ontogenic color change. It's a female, absolutely stunning animal. This is the first calico bloodline in my collection, and again, this is going to work just absolutely amazing into my melanistic projects. Take a look at an animal that I produced 2 years ago. This is Bill's 23.40, and it's a freight train to Mountain Drew animal. This is actually going to be heading over next month to the UK to our good friend Sal over there. So we'll take a look at this one. This one's very unique. The father is a melanistic animal, but this certainly doesn't look to be going in a melanistic direction. It looks to be more high yellow, and there's a lot of yellow in this animal's lineage on its mother's side. So very unique looking ontogenic color change. Another animal produced here in 2023 is a Jaeger to Camo offspring. This is Bill's 2322. Again, you can see quite a bit of melanism in this animal, which is not surprising because his sire Jaeger was a melanistic animal, and he's the one that went on to produce one of the most melanistic green tree pythons ever produced in the sickness. So this is a Jaeger Camo, 2.5-year-old male. This animal may look a little bit different than the animals that we've previously looked at, and that's because this is not a green tree python. This is a green tree python, carpet python hybrid called a Carpondro. And this one happens to be 75% green tree python and 25% carpet python. It was a yellow neonate, and it's currently undergoing its color change, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful fluorescent green animal. These 75% hybrids, they're 100% arboreal, just like a green tree python. You'll never find this off of its perch. And then I don't think the tour would be complete unless we took a look at another Carpondro. This is a 50% Carpondro that I've had for many years now. This was produced by a local friend of mine named Tony Jerome, and just an absolutely stunning animal. Definitely an eye catcher when people come in the room. And This is a 50% Carpondro. So this is half green tree python and half carpet python, unlike the other animal that we saw that was 75% green tree. We thought we would go ahead and highlight some of the breeding pairings that we've been doing in the 2024-2025 season. And so I think it would be appropriate to start with this male. This is an animal called Freight Train. He was produced by John Irby, and this is our third season to breed Freight Train. As you can tell, he's got a lot of melanism, and he has just produced some stunning babies for us in the past. The two dark Neos that we saw at the beginning of the video were offspring from him. And he was paired to two females this year. Both of those females have gone on to become gravid. One has already laid a clutch, and the other one's in her post-ovulation shed right now. He was bred to two sisters that were both offspring of the sickness, pathogen and outbreak. She's in her post-ovulation shed right now. She looks really good, doing everything right. Should shed in the next few days. Again, melanistic pairing. And then one of the other melanistic males that we've been breeding this year is Bill's 1922. This is an animal called Contagion, and he is a male descendant of the sickness. Again, a lot of melanism. Pretty special, pretty unique animal. Adeline Robinson is doing a piece for me right now, a custom piece of this animal that I'm super excited for her to finish and for me to be able to display in my facility. The facility tour wouldn't be complete unless we showcased this animal. This is an animal called Sickness 2.0, and he was produced by Jaeger, bred to a female called Biscuit. And boy, you just can't say enough about the melanism in this animal. Absolutely stunning. He did breed for us this year. He has one female that's gravid. He's a pretty young male. He's about 2.5 years old. That's pretty young for them to breed. Since we showed Sickness 2.0, I think we should show the female that he has bred. This is an animal called Mountain Drew. She was produced by Drew Russell, and this female has laid a clutch for us before. The animals turned out absolutely fantastic. She was bred to the melanistic male Freight Train. But this year we bred her to Sickness 2.0, and she is on the verge of ovulating right now. Alex, maybe you can go in there and get a picture of her. She's off food. We ultrasounded her last week. She's got 20 millimeter follicles. And on our experience, females usually ovulate at about 25 long years. And then another pairing that's still going on. This is a pairing, this is a male called the Flu to a female called Decoy. And Alex will get in there and take a look. The Flu is the animal on the left, the smaller animal that's blue. The Flu is also an offspring of the sickness and has some melanism in him, but he's got a lot of blue that the camera probably is not capturing. And then, in addition to breeding Decoy, the Flu is also breeding a Manicory locality type. It was a red Neo. She is also produced for us 2 years ago. Produced some stunning yellow and red babies. And we can show off Patches, She's laid a clutch for us this year. And then underneath her is Pathogen. She's the female that is also laid. She was bred by Freight Train, and Pathogen is a female offspring of the sickness. Definitely need to take a look at this animal. This animal is called Biscuit, and she has produced some absolutely legendary green tree pythons in her past. I've had her for a long time, and she has probably produced at least 6 clutches of green tree pythons for me. I think the most recent was the animal that we saw previously, Sickness 2.0. So she's beautiful. She's getting this year off, and we'll probably breed her next fall. Another pairing that's going on right now is Diablo Jr. Diablo Jr. is the animal on the left there with the yellow, and he's being bred to a female called Epidemic. Epidemic is melanistic, and she is actually a sibling to the Sickness, same parents, just 2 years later. A blue line girl that's absolutely stunning called Cyanosis. Cyanosis was bred to a Diablo Jr. this year, and we have 11 eggs in the incubator from that parent. The male there that Alex is videoing is an animal that we call the Sickness Sib, because he is a true sibling to the Sickness, although almost completely green with very minimal melanism. He's breeding a female called Clover this year that was a yellow neonate, a melanistic lineage in her background as well. So these are about 3 weeks into their incubation cycle. Green tree pythons typically incubate about 50 days. We incubate them at 87.5 temperature-wise. Incubate them over water, no substrate. And this is a pretty typical sized green tree python clutch. 15, 16 eggs. They look really good. They candled well. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for that clutch and the other clutches that we've got incubating right now. All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed our brief tour of the facility here. I want to thank Morph Market for giving us some exposure. If you need to contact me, you're welcome to do that on Instagram, on phoenix.reptiles, or on Facebook, I'm Bill Stiegel. So thanks, we're out.